Now, lastly, let's talk about Newton's third law of motion. This Newton's third law of motion affects our life in all round. Physics, physics is life. I don't know what to say, but physics is just everything, right? Newton's third law of motion, it states that action and reaction are equal but opposite. Action and reaction are equal but opposite. Or for every action, there must be an equal but opposite reaction. This explains life. For example, I am here, and if I'm to slap somebody here that is standing opposite me, in fact, anybody I will slap is the person opposite me. And if I slap the person, I've given that person an action, and we know the reaction. The person will slap me, get slap. In fact, the person will forget that Jesus said, if they slap you here, you should turn here. No. If I'm slapping you here, you are giving me back. I'm giving you an action. You are giving me that reaction, but you are opposite me. Simple. Action and reaction are equal but opposite. If I blow you 5 kg, you settle down. You might even give me the one that is more than 5 kg. But you are opposite me. If I'm standing here, you are opposite me. That is action and reaction are equal. For example, if you are in your place of work, if you have maybe a workmate, that maybe in the morning you greet the person is giving you attitude. If you greet the person will not answer. The person has given you an action. And you give the person the reaction. The person itself will now be, you know the quarrel now. That is Newton's third law of motion affects life. You have the exams. Emeka, read. Emeka don't want to read. Emeka has already given his brain an action. Emeka, exam is 2 weeks, so Emeka read. Emeka say no. Emeka enters the exam hall. Emeka has already given his brain an action, remember? Emeka enters the exam hall. The brain will give him the reaction. Emeka will know how far. So, Newton's third law of motion affects life in general. For every action, there must be a corresponding, equal, but opposite reaction. Now, in the course of this Newton's third law, for the sake of exams, there are conditions or applications for exam conditions. Applications of Newton's third law of motion. We're going to write them on the board. 1, the recoil of a gun. The recoil of a gun. 2, a person walking. A person walking. 3, we have a jet propelled aircraft. For the sake of exams, these are where they ask questions of the recoil of a gun. What happens in the recoil of a gun? When you pull the trigger backward, the bullet moves forward. You see physics, Abi? If you pull the trigger backward, the bullet will move forward. You have given that gun an action, and it gives a reaction, but it is opposite because you are pulling the trigger backward and the bullet is moving forward. There are questions on this. We'll solve questions. You go tire. This is physics. And if I'm teaching you physics, you have no option but to love it. Now, the second is a person walking. Wait, please, if you have watched up to this point and you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please follow this page to receive more of these interesting teachings in physics. Number 2, a person walking. Now, how does Newton's third law affect a person walking? If a person is walking, let's say this is somebody walking, this is the ground level at which the person is walking. Now, the person is exerting a force on the ground. As I'm standing, I'm exerting a force on the ground. And the ground is also exerting a force on me. So we can call this force the tension. Because why do I know so? As I'm standing here, if the ground is not exerting a force on me, the ground will go down. My force will pull it down. But because there's a force, that's why as I'm walking, the ground is acting on me, I'm acting on it. That's why we are balanced. I'm not going down. That means I'm not matching the ground is now going inside, or the ground is pulling me up, then I'm walking. No, I'm acting. There's a force I'm acting on my force is on the ground. The ground is also acting on me. That is action and reaction. We are equal. They are equal. That's why everything I'm walking normally. I'm not. It's not going down, but it is opposite because one is from going like this, another is coming like this. Now, a jet propelled aircraft is the same thing. If a jet is to go up like this, if a jet is going up like this, if you've watched movies where they take jets up, or maybe soldiers, often they throw jets, maybe a jet is to be propelled, you will see a force that the jet, that I don't know if I would say it's fire that used to come out from the exhaust, to come out like this with force. That boom, if it comes down, that force at which it comes down, the jet will go up. There are questions on this. We'll solve questions. But just know that Newton's third law of motion states that for every action, there must be an equal but opposite reaction. Thank you. Please follow, subscribe, like, share, and drop your comments. Thank you.